So the first question. You have been an ally for the gay community for years. What have you learned in becoming an ally for trans people?
That's the hardest question. I've certainly immersed myself in understanding, not having been trans myself or thought I'd known any trans folks. And even before I met you, belonging to this community, I wanted to understand some of the misunderstandings I might have had. But anyways, having met you, you're my best learning place. I've asked you questions and asked how I can be, how I can adapt. I think that's what I do with you, is I can adapt to where you're at. And I think I've learned how important that is. If you're not ready to talk about this frustration, or if you're just wanting someone to come along with you, I'll adapt to that, Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, and that's okay. I think that's probably what I've learned, is to really look at you for how I can be I suppose. So, you're awesome. It's easy to do. Max, what has been the steepest learning curve for you in the transition process?
Learning how to shave. I'm totally kidding. I wanted to make you laugh. I think, I said this yesterday on the memo, and I think it's in certain situations where it's all men, it's hard to know how to dude it up with the dudes. But I think the most hardest thing is I used to be able to call my mom a lot whenever I had a problem, and I would call her and be like, Mom, what do I do? Can we talk? And so learning how to navigate life without my biological mother, who has been there since day one, has been very difficult. Yeah. That's probably been the steepest learning curve, is learning how to life without mom. Yeah.
I hope I've been able to.
You've helped. What has changed in the Christian community regarding LGBTQ plus matters since your family first dealt with the loved one coming out?
Read it again.
You can read
Sorry.
stuff.
In the Christian community,
yes.
not nearly enough. Seriously, my sister came out in the 90s, so, okay, sorry folks. Society, it's kind of exciting to see how society is waking up. Since I knew my sister was gay, sisters, society's kind of starting to get it, and there's more awareness and openness and change happening. And so that makes it even harder and harder to see the church not sticking with us, or worse, considering this something evil when it's glorious way that our society is becoming more aware of each other and learning our belovedness, even outside the church, more so outside the church. I'm just so glad for a community like this, even so that you and I could, I would be in this community. I've been watching you blossom. Last year was just, I was in tears the whole weekend because we had really just sort of met.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful for this community. I long for other family members of mine to know this community, because this is where we experience God, our humanity, our belovedness. It's just too awesome. So not enough has changed, really. Not enough has changed. But I'm so thankful for this community and that it's growing across Canada. It's awesome.
And internationally.
And internationally, yeah. Yeah, so it used to just connect to GCN, and that was just online, which was awesome. To be physically present with people and to get to know people is so awesome. So I'm so thankful to have a church community where we can experience.
Thank you for bringing me here.
Oh, I'm so glad we came. What have you most appreciated about our relationship? Oh, I like this one.
I know that if, when we're talking, and there's something that is bothering one of us, we are like, no, stop, fix this.
Yeah.
And there's no bullshit between us, and we're like, I don't know what the word is, I lost the word. But like we are like, we got each other, like we're on the same wavelength, I think.
Yeah.
And she's doing it right now, this is also what I appreciate. When I'm talking to her, she sits there, and when you talk to her, she's like, yes, yes. And like, it's good, because I really appreciate that, because it shows that you're listening to me, and I feel validated and listened to, and that's what I most like. And I know that if it's 12 o'clock at night, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or if I'm at work and having a bad day, that I can call you and be like, Kathy, this sucks, what can we do? And
Sometimes when you're at work, I say, can we talk about it later?
Yes, but yeah. And I appreciate that, because she kicks my butt and I go. That's what sucks about her being my boss. But yeah, I really appreciate that you're always very in tune to our conversations when we're having them, and I know that you're always listening and like, let's talk. And yeah, that's what I really most appreciate.
I was going to say the same thing about you too, which is what I appreciate about you, I think, in terms of in your transition and things, just getting to know you, really, is that if I have maybe crossed a line or made humor that doesn't fit today or isn't appropriate, you right away tell me, and I feel so comfortable in any relationship where instead of holding it or telling other people, you just say, hey,
that's
Kat,
what I was trying to say.
Hey, Kat, this is bothering me,
Yeah.
or did you mean that? You've said that to me
Yeah.
before. Why did you say this? Did you mean that? No, I didn't. And
Yeah.
we clarify it, and that's
Yeah.
just so comfortable. Yeah.
We don't like gossip about each other, but like, Kathy said this, but I don't know what she meant.
Oh,
It's, Kathy, what did you mean?
yeah. And that's so
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it's really comfortable that way. That's why it works.
Yes. Dun dun dun. What has been the hardest for you seeing me be hurt by my family?
Yeah. The hardest has been my own reaction to the things you've said, some of the harmful things, the things that your family has said that I just...
Mama bear reaction.
Hmm?
Mama bear reaction.
Mama bear reaction, for sure. Absolutely, mama bear. And sometimes I found, in terms of adapting to your needs, my reaction is just like, what? And I want to swear or say, that's ridiculous. But that's not an appropriate response for you.
No.
That's not
But I
helpful
appreciate
for
that you
you.
do that, because I know that you're upset by my other family. By my family, they are my other family. You guys are my family. So but yeah, I appreciate that you want to be like, what the fuck, and why?
I would have said that too. I didn't.
So even though I've had time to like recollect and like, because I am bringing my issue to you and I've already had time to deal with it, this is the first time you're hearing it, so I understand that you need that like, what is happening moment. So like, even when you want to do that, I'm okay with it.
Oh, good.
And sometimes I'll be like, Kathy, no, don't do that.
Yeah. And I can adapt, I
Yes,
think. I sort of
yes.
see, because you let me know right
We're
away.
very
so-
adaptable to each other.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. You're freaking awesome, Max. You're so awesome.
Out of love.
Last question. Okay.
Okay.
We do talk for hours sometimes too, so watch out for All right. What do you most wish people understand about being trans?
So this is more related to like being trans and Christian. A lot of my family members, after they have found out, were like, you need to get right with God. Never said I wasn't right with God. I just said that I wanted to transition. So the assumption that because I'm transitioning, I no longer have a relationship with God. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing that I want people to understand about being trans is I don't want to be a boy, or trans women don't want to be a woman. We are men and women.
Right.
We are just making the
Amen.
outside.
Right.
That's what I want people to know.
And I can see that. Like, I see that in you.
Like, I didn't ask to be like this.
Yeah.
It just happened, and I'm happy I'm like this.
And you flourish. I mean, it's so obvious you're flourishing. It drives me crazy when your family says, oh, you're not right with God, or this is... What? Oh, we're done? Talking too much.